at the very beginning of the war. They had scores of times in military equipment and the military personnel against us. But when they were first time repelled and discouraged, they retreated. They would flee. They do not value their own people, human lives, and their own military. And so we can have different attitudes towards their force, but we can see that the enemy can be sometimes respected, sometimes can be confronted when they behave in a military way, without looting or raping people. We cannot have respect for that force, and the leadership of Russia have no respect for their own soldiers because they sacrificed thousands of people just to appease their political appetites. They have many people, and the technical prevalence is on their side. But nevertheless, we have the morale, the spirit, and we have the truth, which is on our side. We never started any war. We are just defending our land. We are in our country, and we are protecting the country of Ukraine, the land of Ukraine, and we are not attacking anyone. Thank you.
Let me ask a follow-up question, President Zelensky. There has been peace talks now between Russia and Ukraine at different levels. There's one mediated by the UN Secretary General, and there's another one going on in Turkey and so on. My question to you, do you think that President Putin is serious about these talks achieving any results, or is these talks only to allow Russian forces to catch their breath and to project a positive image to the international community? So is he serious, or is it not really serious to achieve a deal? And secondly, from Ukraine's position, what would be the bottom line in reaching a peace deal with Russia? Of course, I don't expect you to explain your negotiating terms, but what would be the bottom line, the things that you would not compromise on in reaching a peace deal with Russia? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this question. I agree with you completely that partially the reason for the rhetorics in the mass media, the Russian mass media, they want negotiations and are ready for the talks. They want to postpone, to regroup, to give a respite to their forces, and additionally mobilize some, not all the people, the national mobilization, but partial mobilization with the reserves are being drawn in the military equipment. They try to secretly buy equipment from some other countries. This is one reason. Another reason is that they demonstrate to the international community that they are close to some humane steps. They want talks. This is not true. This is simply not true. They do not want any peace talks. They want to sign some documents, some papers on their conditions, their way to, it will be some kind of an ultimatum. Anyway, that's it. Now, speaking of the real dialogue or negotiation and the end to this war, I cannot see any substantial offers of that nature, of that kind. That's from the information that I have. I haven't heard even once from them any response to their proposal from the leader of the Russian Federation to stop, really stop this war. After my 3 years in the office, I haven't had such an offer even once. And especially from the beginning of this onslaught, we are in favor of negotiations. We support the diplomatic decisions and solutions, but this does not match with the reality, because we cannot wage a war and increase the technical presence of the military in somebody else's country and opt for the diplomatic solutions of any kind. So when Russia was repelled in Kiev region here around the capital, and then we pushed them out from the Kharkiv region, and in Donbass we are present, but we can see that they use reinforcements from the Russian side and from the borders with Kharkiv region. They want to continue with this. If they continue, they like this war. That's our impression. That's what I see. They are not happy with the results, perhaps, but it's not about the result. It's the process they enjoy. Unfortunately, we're different there. I don't enjoy this process of war, and I do not understand how anyone can enjoy this, because we are losing human lives in this process. The loss of lives for many people, scores of thousands of people we're talking here. So I think that the philosophy of us is different, and that's why we are different as the state. Now, speaking of the diplomatic solution for this situation and what Ukraine is prepared to use as the bottom line, in your own words, after the atrocities committed by the Russian force in Ukraine, we can say that we can see that they are prepared to talk. This is a big step forward, because you can see what is happening. The number of killed children, 300 children killed in this war. How can we talk to them after that? But nevertheless, Ukraine is aware of the fact that any war should be ended in the nearest future, with the intermediary role from the leaders of other countries and the international communities. We need safeguards for our security from the UN. We are grateful to them for the talks, the parley we had to evacuate people from Mariupol and deblock Azovstal, and the lives saved there at least, and the UN has done a lot and has a lot to do. There's a lot on the Red Cross committee's plate. We have to exchange the military. And this is the prisoners of war. This process is extremely important for me. And there, the result matters. And I believe that our people should come back to their homes, to their families.
Thank you. President Zelensky, now I will take questions from the public. We have diverse groups here. I will take 3 questions. First question will be from a student from FPCI chapter. The second one is from Metro TV. And third one is from one of our politicians, Chak Imin, Mohaimin Iskandar. And I should put the FPCI chapter number 1, because in FPCI, a student is king. Right. So now I will give the floor to FPCI chapter student, Universitas 11 Maret. Please.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'd like to ask a question regarding this problem. So, Indonesian President Joko Widodo has invited you to participate in the G20 this November. And Indonesia has also appealed to G20 members to focus on humanitarian assistance. What kind of support would you like to get from the Indonesian government, and especially for the Indonesian people? Thank you.
Please don't answer yet, President Zelensky. The second question is from Metro TV reporter.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Pak Dino and FPCI. I would like to ask a question, Mr. President. You have repeatedly said that you want to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin for talks on peace deal. But we have heard that top officials in your administration and military have recently showed less willingness to concede anything with Russia in negotiations. So are you still hopeful about meeting Putin and reaching a deal?